Silver has found himself in some serious hot water over the management of the WNBA, and is they faking ratings? I don't know, but we finna.
This is wild, because Adam Silver probably thought he was playing it safe. Just another calm press stop, right? A few harmless comments about the WNBA's progress and direction. But instead of easing tension, he accidentally confirmed what everyone's been whispering for months, that things inside the league aren't nearly as smooth as they want us to believe. What was meant to be a simple clarification turned into confirmation that chaos is simmering behind closed doors. Players are frustrated, leadership looks unsure, and fans are left wondering if anyone at the top actually understands how fragile the situation's become. His remarks about Caitlin Clark didn't just cause debate, they blew the lid off. Within hours, social media went nuclear, players started throwing subtle shade, and fans began dissecting every word. Suddenly, Silver's attempt at transparency looked more like damage control gone wrong. And honestly, this seems to be a pattern. Every time the WNBA drama starts to calm down, someone in a suit finds a way to reignite it. This time, it wasn't Commissioner Cathy Engelbert catching the backlash, it was her boss. The guy who's supposed to stay above the chaos somehow managed to step right into the middle of it.
Adam Silver himself has chimed in and addressed the situation directly, saying Cathy Engelbert has presided over historic growth in the league, but there's no question that there's issues that we need to address with our players, not just economic, there's relationship issues as well. I'm confident we can fix those over time, and this league can continue to be on the rocket trajectory that it's on.
Before we get into the details, let's be fair here. Adam Silver didn't sit down for that NBC interview looking to spark chaos. In his mind, he was probably delivering one of those calm, professional answers meant to reassure everyone that the league's in good hands. A simple, controlled statement to quiet the noise. But that's not how it landed. The second that clip hit the internet, it spread faster than Aya Wilson on a fast break, and fans wasted zero time tearing it apart. Oh, let's rewind for a second and break down what actually happened. Silver sat down for what was supposed to be your standard, super safe PR interview, the kind full of buzzwords like growth, momentum, leadership, and synergy. You know the drill. Big words, little meaning. Then came the moment everything shifted. When the topic turned to Caitlin Clark and the current state of the WNBA, Silver dropped a line that changed the tone completely. He said the league's biggest problems weren't financial, they were relationship problems. First, that sounds innocent enough. Like, okay, communication issues, no big deal, right? But when you think about it, that one comment basically told the entire world that the league isn't just struggling with money, it's struggling with trust. The people in charge and the players on the court clearly aren't seeing eye to eye. And now, thanks to the NBA commissioner saying it on national television, that tension isn't a rumor anymore, it's official.
I would love for Adam, since we're a brother-sister league, to go to some of the CBA negotiations, sit in the room, hear what the women have to say, hear some of their concerns, and let's go from there. Let's build something.
I'm here to tell you that NBA leadership is very much abreast on what's happening in these CBA negotiations. She's not the only decision maker who is denying some.
And the timing couldn't be worse.
And the timing couldn't have been worse, because this interview didn't happen in a vacuum. It dropped right in the middle of complete chaos. The WNBA finals are happening, and Nafisa Collier just went viral for calling out Commissioner Cathy Engelbert on live TV after those controversial remarks about Caitlin Clark needing to be grateful for off-court income. At the same time, players are openly talking about potential lockouts, fans are furious about officiating, and Caitlin's name somehow keeps getting dragged into every argument, even when she's not playing. So now, right in the middle of that storm, Adam Silver walks in, sounding like a confused parent trying to settle an argument between kids he barely knows. And the wild part is, he probably thought he was doing the right thing. In his mind, acknowledging the tension might have seemed like a way to show leadership, empathy, and control. But instead, all he did was prove exactly what players have been saying for months, that the NBA still sees the women's game as a side project they don't fully understand or take seriously. And when you actually break down what Silver said, it just gets worse. He tried to praise Cathy Engelbert by saying she's overseen historic growth, which sounds like a compliment, until, in the very next sentence, he admitted there's a serious disconnect between the league's leadership and its players. Oh, which one is it, Adam? Are we celebrating growth, or admitting the whole thing's on fire? Because from what we've seen this season, the WNBA isn't expanding, it's overheating. Not the kind of growth you build on, but the kind that bursts under pressure. Between Nafisa publicly calling out leadership, players threatening to walk if things don't change, and fans completely fed up with favoritism and inconsistency, this doesn't look like progress. It looks like a full-blown crisis. And maybe the most telling moment of all, Silver called the situation unfortunate. If you know corporate language, that's billionaire code for, "This is a disaster, and we're trying not to freak out." Then he went even further, calling the league's challenges personal. Translation: the people running the show and the players on the court can't even stand to be in the same room. Tell me that's not an absolute mess that just got exposed on national television.
What was interesting was the amount of players that came to the defense of Fee and the crickets that came to the defense of Kathy for me.
I mean, this is an important part. Like, this is an important time with the CBA negotiations. Like, the players, when you look at leagues around the world, like, it is about caring for your athletes, caring for the players. And that's just not the feelings right now. And I think everyone is kind of just, they rallied around Fee because, one, that was a powerful statement to make. And obviously it puts pressure on Kathy and put pressure on the leadership. But I mean, it was a lot. It was a heavy hit on us.
But the part that really blew everything up online? It wasn't the corporate buzzwords or the polished sound bites. It was when Adam Silver started talking about ratings. He claimed the WNBA was in this skyrocketing growth phase. Like everything was smooth sailing, fans were flooding in, and the league was breaking records left and right. Except, that same week, new reports dropped suggesting those so-called record numbers might not be quite as organic as advertised. People who actually follow media metrics started noticing something strange. Nielsen, the company that tracks TV viewership, had quietly adjusted how it measures audiences. Suddenly, out-of-home viewing was counted for the first time in WNBA history. That means screens in sports bars, hotel lobbies, airports, basically any place with a TV showing the game, now counted as official viewers. Oh yes, the numbers jumped. But did millions of new fans really start watching on purpose, or did someone simply rewrite the math to make it look that way? That's the question everyone's been asking. Fans online weren't buying it for a second. One viral post joked that the new ratings looked more inflated than the foul calls in the finals, while another said, they're massaging the stats to downplay Caitlyn's impact. Harsh. Maybe. But that sentiment spread fast, because a lot of people quietly agreed, let's be honest. Without Caitlin Clark, none of these so-called historic viewership spikes would even exist. From her first pro game, she packed arenas, boosted every network's numbers, dominated highlight reels, and brought an entirely new audience to women's basketball. She didn't just lift ratings, she redefined them. And yet, now that she's sidelined, it suddenly feels like the league's trying to act like her influence was a short-term boost, not the reason the spotlight's even here. That's what really set people off, the sense that leadership's trying to rewrite the narrative and minimize the player who single-handedly changed the game's visibility. Silver's words might have been meant to sound neutral, calm, polished, let's all work together type language, but they came across as dismissive. While he talked about relationships and shared progress, it felt like he was shielding Kathy Engelbert's missteps and brushing off the obvious truth. The WNBA's current momentum exists because of Caitlin Clark. And once the internet caught wind of that tone, it was over. Within hours, Adam Silver regret was trending across social media. Comment sections lit up with fans accusing him of treating the WNBA like an afterthought, something he only steps into when there's a PR emergency. Others speculated he was just trying to protect Kathy's image, because if her leadership takes a hit, it reflects badly on him too. Remember, Kathy Engelbert ultimately reports to Adam Silver. So when your boss has to go on national TV to publicly defend you, that's not a confidence boost, that's a red flag. It signals one thing loud and clear: things behind the scenes are way messier than anyone's admitting.
Very personal, because the WNBA wants to forbid us to make a lot of more money than we're ever going to make here, what it seems like in other leagues. So it's very personal. People have families, this is our job. We make more money in China, Russia, Turkey than here. So it is very personal, and I don't think we'll become personal.
Meanwhile, the players themselves have officially had enough. You can feel the frustration boiling over. Veterans and young stars alike are done staying quiet about pay, respect, and the way things are being handled behind closed doors. Sophie Cunningham even said the quiet part out loud: if things don't change, players might not show up at all next season. Yeah, you heard that right. A lockout is on the table. And if the upcoming CBA talks fall apart, if the league office keeps brushing off legitimate concerns and pretending everything's fine, there's a very real chance the 2026 WNBA season doesn't even happen. That's how serious it's gotten. And all of it circles back to one thing: leadership, or honestly, the lack of it. Because right now, there's no real direction coming from the top. Cathy Engelbert barely shows face unless there's a PR crisis, and when she does, her statements somehow manage to make players even angrier. Adam Silver keeps stepping in with these carefully worded interviews that sound corporate but reveal just how disconnected management really is. And the players? They've resorted to venting on podcasts and Instagram stories just to be heard. Think about that. The athletes keeping this league alive are literally having to use social media like it's a group chat just to communicate with each other and the fans. That's not structure. That's not leadership. That's chaos, with a fancy logo stamped on top of it.
Interesting was the amount of players that came to the defense of Fee and the crickets that came to the defense of Cathy for me. Adam Silver is Cathy's boss, and he is the commissioner of the NBA. I signed a deal with Amazon to broadcast for Amazon. I got a text from Adam Silver saying congratulations. I had my third child. I got a text from Adam Silver about my third child. Now, whether this is Adam or his assistant, somebody from the league office is reaching out to me. I got a baby gift for my third child. I get a Christmas gift from Adam Silver every year. I retired. Adam Silver sent me a text message that basically congratulated me on my career and how much I've done for the women's game, and he looked forward to how much I'm gonna do from the sideline. I have not heard from Cathy. I saw Cathy in Phoenix after I had been retired for 4 months at Phoenix All-Star Game, and she said congratulations in person. And that was the only time. And so you've heard other players, Sabrina Ionescu alluded to this, I have a better relationship with Adam Silver than I do Cathy. My 2 jersey retirements, there was no Cathy.
Yeah.
So I think that Adam Silver understands the process. I don't know if he understood that Cathy was not doing that either.
And just when you think this situation couldn't look any worse, the comparisons start rolling in, and they're brutal. Fans and journalists are now openly pointing out how differently Adam Silver treats NBA stars compared to WNBA players. And honestly, it's painful to hear. Candace Parker pretty much confirmed it herself on her podcast. She said that Adam personally texted her when she retired, when she joined TNT as a broadcaster, even when she had her baby. He sent her congratulations and holiday gifts. Meanwhile, from her own league's commissioner, Cathy Engelbert, radio silence. Not a text, not a call. Nothing. Candace didn't sugarcoat it either. She said point blank, "I hear more from Adam Silver than from my own commissioner." That one line hit the entire WNBA community like a punch to the gut, because it summed up the problem perfectly. This league's biggest issue isn't just about paychecks, sponsorships, or TV contracts. It's about connection, human respect. Players don't feel seen. They don't feel heard. And now, thanks to Adam's comments, the world knows it too. What was meant to sound diplomatic ended up proving exactly what the players have been saying all along, that the league office and its players are miles apart. And no, you can't spin that into good PR. Especially when your biggest star, Caitlin Clark, is sitting in the crossfire of all this chaos, just trying to focus on basketball. But here's where it gets truly messy. Over the weekend, fans started questioning whether all these so-called record-breaking numbers are even real. The WNBA keeps bragging about its historic growth, but a lot of people are noticing some sketchy timing. How do you claim you can't afford better referees or consistent coverage, yet suddenly pull record-high ratings out of thin air, right after changing how those ratings are counted? Even sports analysts are calling it out, saying, the WNBA's problem isn't popularity, it's pretending that popularity fixes everything. And that's exactly right. You can't fix locker room tension with graphs. You can't solve trust issues with buzzwords. And you can't rebuild player loyalty with press releases. Caitlin Clark didn't ask to be the face of all this drama. She didn't sign up to be the centerpiece of a league power struggle. All she wanted was to hoop, to compete, to win, to bring fans along for the ride. But now, she's caught in the middle of the biggest internal meltdown the league's ever had. And Adam Silver? He just made it worse by talking about it publicly. Now he's got fans, players, and media all demanding the same thing. If the NBA really controls the WNBA's future, then it's time to step up and actually fix it. Because let's be real, you can't keep bragging about historic growth when your own commissioner's being called a ghost by her players. Even Candace Parker, one of the most respected voices in the sport, said she heard more from Adam Silver about her career milestones than she ever did from Cathy Engelbert. That's not just awkward, that's embarrassing for the entire organization. And it's gotten to the point where insiders are already whispering that Cathy's job might not be safe anymore. Because the players are furious, the fans are losing patience, and every time someone in a suit tries to explain the situation, they just dig the hole deeper. Adam Silver probably thought that interview would calm things down, that it'd sound thoughtful, balanced, mature. Instead, it turned into a full-blown PR wildfire that's not dying anytime soon. And the reason it's spreading so fast? Caitlin Clark's fanbase. They're loud, loyal, and they see through the corporate fluff. If they even sense disrespect toward her, the internet catches fire in seconds. Right now, Adam Silver's definitely feeling that burn.